are 30 very specific items that you should trash if you still have them in your closet. Now, obviously, you should donate when possible, only trash something if it's full of holes or maybe it has stains. And the thing is, I also don't want this video to be super negative. It's probably gonna come across negative because I am sharing things you probably have in your closet, but it's so hard to get rid of stuff sometimes. So this is going to just give you some ideas. I also wanna say a huge thank you to Quince for sponsoring this video, but I'll get to them a bit later. Okay, so to do this correctly, you have to get in the right mindset. You have to go into it wanting to conquer your closet. You're gonna have to make two piles, one full of just donations and the other stuff you're just gonna throw away. So let's start with the good old lace trimmed camis. Yes, I know you have them. I know you do. Maybe 5 or 6 of them. Just get rid of them, or at least most of them, because they're just dated. They're very dated. I bet you're not reaching for them anymore, but they're pretty, so you keep them. But speaking of lace, let's move on to these lace accented tops, like exactly like this one. So it might be lacy around the neckline or on the shoulder. This particular top though, like pay attention to, look how long it is, okay? This again is a very dated characteristic. If you've got a top that is just, I mean, really long, you might wanna consider passing it on. Now, peplum tops. They're not very long, but they are very out of style. So to me, this is an easy one. If you have any peplum tops still in your closet, this is one that you can grab and toss in the donation pile. Another thing you could do is literally just scan your closet for anything with super bright neon colors. I'm not saying they're all bad, but you're definitely running the risk of either looking like a hunter or a construction worker. Now, I don't know if you've noticed a trend thus far in the video, but many of the items we're either donating or trashing are very loud and trendy, and they just don't withstand the test of time. And that's why I wanted to mention Quince in this video, because if you are decluttering your closet and you just want to replace some of your everyday go-to items with classic pieces that don't go out of style, Quince is such a good option. Everything is so affordable. They basically cut out the middleman, and so all of their pieces are very premium, high quality materials, but at such a good price. And so I am gonna style some pieces, but definitely consider getting some basics like this white t-shirt. Everyone needs a good white tee in their closet. This one's more of like a boxy fit, but it's 100% organic. Again, such a great material. There's different color options. Everything will be linked down below, by the way. Everything is free shipping, 365-day returns. It's super easy to shop. But this black t-shirt is a little bit more stretchy. It's a little bit more tight fitting. I still love the crew neckline. You can either wear these on their own or you can layer with them. So today you'll notice I am wearing this Mongolian cashmere cardigan sweater from Quince. It's so stunning. It looks great on its own, but if you do want to layer with those t-shirts, it really does take it to the next level. So you'll see I did add the white t-shirt, then put this over top. Then you can even add some extra accessories like this woven belt from Quince. I've had this for months. It's my favorite belt. I think these are the Bella relaxed wide leg jeans from Quince. I have them in blue. You'll see them in like a dark charcoal color coming up too. But let's actually go back to that black tighter t-shirt. You know, we did talk about getting rid of some of the lace camisoles that are a bit outdated. I feel like just layering with basic t-shirts is way more in style right now. Here I just added a nice blazer and it looks great. Here I am wearing those darker jeans that I just talked about, and then these Italian leather boots. They're so nice. They are true to size, so incredibly high quality. I feel like they could be your go-to boots for this winter season, and consider any of these pieces as gift ideas too. I know when I'm posting this, it still is before Christmas. You'll definitely get it in time. Everything's packaged really nicely, but these boots really are comfortable and you'll be able to pair them with really any outfit. And then I also wanted to mention this white gauzy button-down shirt. I feel like every woman should have a shirt like this because there's so many ways you can wear it. You can, you know, just have it buttoned down, just kind of like oversized. This is a size medium, by the way. You could also tuck it in and kind of open the neckline, add some layered jewelry, and this is organic cotton. So again, Quince is all about sustainability, environmentally friendly packaging, and just like they really choose the materials that are best for the environment and for you. And then as far as bags, I'm still always reaching for this black bag from Quince. It's Italian leather, such great quality, looks great with everything. I also paired it with this next, again, organic cotton top. It's like this gray top. It's very basic, again, very simple. You can throw it on, wear the bag, wear the jeans. These woven flats, again, I've had these for months. They've held up great. So just the Quince pieces, again, they're affordable, but they just withstand the test of time. So I'm gonna have everything linked down below along with some other favorites that I think you should consider. You can click around around. They've got home items. They've got stuff for men and kids as well. But let's actually move on to makeup and or armpit stains, because that happens to the best of us. And usually it does happen to the basics that we are constantly re-wearing. So check your white t-shirts, your white button downs, if there's any yellow staining, and then just makeup stains. This may just be me, but I have clothes in my closet that I love and I don't get rid of, but they are stained with my makeup. I need to get rid of them. Okay, so we have talked a lot about specific tops so far. I wanna move on to some jeans and pants that you should really consider getting rid of. If you have any jeans, just go to your jeans section and look at jeans that have any contrast stitching. So if you've got dark blue jeans with white contrast stitching, it's just not good anymore. Same with light wash jeans with really like dark blue stitching. Again, very dated. Now you might expect me to say that you should get rid of your skinny jeans. No, I am in fact not going to say that, because I think skinny jeans can come in very handy and be very stylish if you're wearing them tucked into boots. They can look great like that, but there are certain skinny jeans you definitely need to trash, like the ones that are just super ripped up. Ripped skinny jeans, not good, especially, these are even worse, when the rips have like fake patches underneath. That's such a bad characteristic. And then colored skinny jeans. Any like bright blue, bright green, just like bright colored skinny jeans. Very bad. Oh my gosh, I'm turning negative. Guys, if you love any of this stuff, I truly mean this from the bottom of my heart. Just keep it. Who cares what I say? At the end of the day, this video is just to give you ideas, and honestly, it's for entertainment purposes. So don't get too distraught about this, but let's move on to capri pants. I want you to check again your pants and your jeans section. If you have capri pants where it's hitting you right at the middle of your calf, these are so unflattering. You can get kind of a similar look with the similar like airflow if you just get ankle jeans. So they're a little bit longer. They still show the ankle, but they're way more stylish and flattering. Another pair of pants that we have so many of are leggings. I am willing to bet you have like 5 to 10 pairs of black leggings. So there's ones that you love, there's ones that you just keep because you bought them. Just get rid of the ones you never actually reach for. And then if you do still have any of those loud, just like crazy pattern leggings, now would be the time that you could get rid of those. I mean, here are some examples. These were so in. These were cool. These were super cool. Not anymore. Now, speaking of loud patterns, we must talk about the loud boho jumpsuits or maxi dresses. There's just something about these pieces of clothing that were just once so in and now they're so out. I mean, look at me wearing this jumpsuit. I literally look like a clown. I don't feel like that many people have this, but maybe you still do. If you have maxi dresses though, that's the one where I think it's a little bit more common. And then on top of that, if you have any top that combines color, pattern, and texture into the same thing, you should get rid of that too. You could also take a look at any embellished or bedazzled tops or sweaters that you may have. The thing is, some of them are very bad and like you probably should just donate them, but then others can be okay. I mean, like this one where I have like some pearl detail around the collar, like I actually do think this is really cute, but then I also had this one where it was like this chain detail on the neckline. There's also some tops where the embellishments are either spaced really weird or they're falling off. And then likewise, like not everything is always bad. I do think that this particular characteristic where the bodice is like this stretchy material, I feel like that can tend to look a little cheap and a bit outdated sometimes. But like honestly though, look at this top. I actually bought this at the thrift store to show as a bad example. And then I got it home and I put it on and look at it. I actually really like this top. So that's the thing, like sometimes things can look so bad, but when you put them on your body, they really aren't that bad. Again, I'm not saying you need to get rid of everything. Now we're gonna get into some more basics, like things that, again, you're reaching for all the time. And I want to talk about your bra, sock, and underwear drawer. Open that drawer, just get rid of anything that's worn out or some of the items that you just never actually wear or reach for. And I also wanted to mention Quince one more time, just because I did recently get these organic cotton underwear. Back years ago, I was all about the seamless underwear and I still wear those for certain occasions and certain outfits, but every single day I'm trying my hardest to just reach for the organic cotton underwear. And these are very good quality, again, very affordable, and I just think every woman should try to make the switch. And then I also think most of us have just too many cardigans in our closet, because that is something where the styles do continually change, but we wear them all the time, so we're always getting new ones. I mean, look at my section here. I mean, I have so many, and then there's so many beige. and I keep them because I might get cold one day, but there's only certain ones I usually reach for. I just need to get rid of the rest. Now, other cardigans to maybe consider donating is if you have any bat wing cardigans. Those, again, like 10 years ago, super cool. Now, not so much. I'm gonna get back to the cardigans in a second, but I did wanna call attention to any bat wing oversized tunics like this one you're seeing. Again, it's a very, very long top, but it also is oversized in the arm where it's like this bat wing detail. The shoulder line is like way low, almost to the elbows. This is just not a great top to still have in your closet. But back to the cardigans. Here's some other ones that you should maybe consider just getting rid of. This will make it easy. If you have any that have sagging elbows, this is something that you don't actually see on yourself, but other people see you with it when you're wearing the cardigan. So take a look at that. And then any waterfall cardigans. This is just, again, an outdated style. It just kind of makes it easy to decide to get rid of. And then this next one could be applied to cardigans, but it also applies to sweaters and really just any top in your closet that is too thin. If you can see what undergarment you're wearing, then that sweater, it's too thin. It looks cheap. It doesn't look good. Same with any other top. If it's just like a really thin material, there's a good chance there's holes developing like this. Another characteristic that you could scan your closet for is any tops with like the weird side ties where like the ties down your side and it dangles. There's a good chance that that top is out of style and it's just an easy one to donate. And then this one I've said so many times, but I still see it out and about. So I know there's people out there that just love this, but the weird ties in the front. It looks like a man part. Like that's what I always say. Like I just think of either a man part, and in this case, like this one just looks like a mustache above your crotch. And then we must also talk about the cutout tops. And there's two different directions I want to go with this. First being any tops where it's like a normal shirt, but then there's a hole above your chest, like a cutout, like peekaboo, cleavage. Like I've hated this style from day one, even when it was cool, but now it's just not cool. So I feel like that's another easy one you can donate. Sometimes I also see cutout tops with like crisscross design. Really, any top where there's like an intentional hole in it is probably something you could consider donating. And that does lead me to cold shoulder tops. I think a lot of you are now realizing and agreeing that they're out of style, but I still see them every once in a while. Again, you do you. But like they used to be cool. Like here's me, I found this photo and I was chuckling to myself. Like I loved this sweater with like the cold shoulder design, but now I definitely don't have it anymore. Now, if you look in the background here, you will notice I have a wall of shoes. I love shoes. I keep them longer than I probably should. And so I encourage you and myself to just do a scanning of your shoes and just get rid of anything that is just outdated. Here's some ideas. Any wedge sneakers, any Tom's flats, any gladiator sandals. You might also have scarves tucked away somewhere that you never wear, but they're still just like taking up real estate. So if you have any infinity scarves or any scarves with like patterns and tassels and things like that, that's again, so easy to get rid of. I've got two more suggestions that are so good and no one ever talks about them. In your closet, I would be willing to bet you have a few sentimental pieces that just mean something to you, you're never gonna get rid of. Like for me, I have this sweater top that it was the last thing my grandmother ever bought for me before she passed away, and it just means a lot to me. So I keep it in my closet, but like I never wear it. I mean, again, it's super long, like it's dirty, like I shouldn't have it in my closet. I need to just move it out and keep it, but just get it out of my closet. And there's probably other things like that in your closet that would just, give you more space. And then you should also get rid of anything in your closet that immediately wrinkles the second you put it on. You know you never wear it. I don't care if it's beautiful and stylish and so expensive. You never wear it. And so it's just not worth actually keeping. So there you have it, guys. 30 very specific suggestions of things to get rid of to make a more enjoyable closet experience. Now, if you do want to replace any of your items with just classic, timeless, and quality pieces, I will have Quince linked down below in the description. I'll also pin everything in the top comment. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.